Around the Ozarks is now on your FM radio. Listen to Around the Ozarks mornings with Grace Gooley as I spotlight local people, stories, and podcasts, all while playing the country legends of the 90s and the hit makers of the 2000s. It's on the Ozarks' best country, 105.1 The Bull.
Welcome to Beyond the Gate, a podcast sharing the grit, growth, and spirits of rural life. From fields to front porches, this is where the heart of agriculture comes alive.
Today we go beyond the gate at the brand new Michael L. Parson Arena here at the Missouri State Fairgrounds. We're going to be talking with a man who is very passionate about Missouri agriculture, an engineer, a cattleman, and more importantly today, chairman of the Missouri State Fair Foundation, Chad Sayre. Welcome, not to the studio, but to the Missouri State Fair.
What a location, first ever that I know of that this has happened. So
pretty exciting.
Anytime you can open with the Jumbotron in the back, I mean, that's amazing.
It's pretty exciting. We're gonna dive deep into you. We're gonna dive deep into Missouri State Fair Foundation and the future of the fair as a whole. But first, who is Chad Sayre?
Chad Sayre, raised by cattlemen. My grandpa has been a member of the American Ag Association. I think the certificate says since 1944. Of course, he's now passed, but we have that on our wall. And then my dad, and then myself, and my brothers, and then my daughters, and now soon to be 2 granddaughters. So, the history roots in cattle and a little bit of row crop. Went to college at the University of Missouri, as my dad did and as my grandpa did. Got a degree in engineering, got another degree in engineering, lots of degrees there. And that's treated me well, very blessed. And we're those people that went to Columbia, never left the region, and then, of course, stayed connected here to the Missouri State Fair throughout those years, as your family has too.
Yes, and Chad, we go way back.
Yes.
Kind of grew up in similar situations, but I'm pretty partial to the red and white cows, and you're an Angus boy. But we're proud to be cattlemen and women for sure. Tell me about your first connection to the Missouri State Fair. Maybe connection is better to say a memory.
Right. First memory, before my first memory is what I'm told. So is in a lot less organized campground, lot less things, wonderful things, nothing like what the Missouri State Fair Commission is doing now, and the Department of Ag. So I remember coming down to watch people that our family knew, and that was probably the first connection. First memory probably is probably at the carnival. You know, my dad wasn't a carnival guy, but he would take us up there, and we would get to. First memory, still traumatic, we still practice it, is that ball throw in the spring-loaded basket that you can't win.
Yes.
That was something that we practiced a lot so that we would come back down and we could win like a stuffed animal.
You practiced at home to win that?
Yes, we did.
Did you get to take any home?
Yes, we did.
Not just goldfish, but like big stuffed animals?
Yeah, the goldfish, you're right. Gosh, I'm glad you brought those up, but they never lived. But we had a lot of memories of being able to do that. And then, of course, all through the cattle showing and all the community of cattle folks. Didn't matter what breed.
It didn't matter what breed.
Doesn't matter what breed. I do own half of a Hereford bull now. I was going to save that for you for this very moment.
Man, you've been keeping that a secret all week. We've been here at the fair for many days. It's not day one, and we're here for 11 plus, I know. And I see you every day, and you're just now telling me you own a Hereford bull.
I was hoping it didn't leak out because I wanted to save that for just you, because I knew.
This is breaking news, folks. Chad Sayre owns a Hereford bull.
It's going to be rough on me, but I wanted you to reveal that. And it's from a wonderful breeder, from my partner with my nephew and brother-in-law up at Maryville, the Logger Farms. So yes. So I wanted to save that. And
well, welcome to the good side, young man. So I hope that this is the first of many good choices that you've made on your side of production as a beef producer. So we talked about your first memories. We're going to talk about the foundation in a second, but you've been active in the foundation for a number of years. But Allstate Consulting as an engineer, you don't necessarily put two and two together. but you can't go anywhere on the fairgrounds in the last couple of years where your engineering company hasn't touched. So what is Allstate Consulting, and what do you do?
It's Allstate Consultants. We just celebrated our 50th year. My brother Kerry, my college buddy David Weber, we're kind of second generation of that ownership that started in 2000, 2001. Worked there since 1993, so I'm old. But the exciting thing, Jamie, for us was the third generation of ownership is complete 3.5 years ago. We have 22 shareholders. We have offices in Camdenton, Columbia, Lee Summit, Marceline, Milan, and we're very, very blessed to get to work in rural areas. That's where we stay. That's where we get to work in Idaho for a beef processor. We get to work in Scott County, Kansas, in my heart, for feed yards out there. So we have a business that does civil engineering and structural engineering and surveying, and it's just a business that has grown solidly for us, and now a wonderful group of young shareholders. And so pretty exciting times for Allstate Consultants. And you mentioned being here on the fairgrounds. Many years ago, we started working for the Office of Administration, and they're the entity. They do a wonderful job that are tasked with state-owned projects. So they have to be so diverse. A lot of engineers, architects, technical folks, a whole bunch of folks through Office of Administration and FMDC. And so we've been blessed to work on the fairgrounds for many years on state projects. So it gives us a lot of advantages so we can give back. And that's part of that is how we really got introduced to the foundation. I knew it was there. I was guilty of not doing what a lot of our folks do. We take it for granted, but I had a very key person that got me involved.
Who first got you involved?
This is the funny part. This guy's named David Johansson. Okay.
Slight relation.
Another guy named Rex Ricketts.
Another amazing man.
Another amazing past director who was very keen at getting us involved. So much respect for her, Wendy Falconer Logis. And so we were able to work on a project where they needed a solution to present to OA in a form that OA, Office of Administration, could understand.
And these people you mentioned, one is my father-in-law, but they're farmers, and their kids and grandkids and their friends in the Charlet barn had a problem that they wanted fixed, but they don't automatically know the solution, that it's not their expertise. And so they got you involved.
They did. And that created a value stream. In any organization, your family has served in many, and the Johansson family. So in anything, you just want to bring value. And Wendy was an expert, in my opinion, of saying, this is that value stream to present a technical solution, but we could speak OA. We could speak OA.
Because, the fairgrounds is owned by the state. Everything here is owned by the state. And so OA, they state-ran office. And I've been on the foundation, or I've been on the commission for just a few years. But the biggest thing is nothing happens on the timeline that we see in private sector when we're talking about state and federal governments. The timelines are slow, and you have to speak a language that I don't know how to speak, and I'm learning it. But you've been working with them for years, and so you were able to bridge the gap and translate to both sides.
That's a great way to put it.
Both languages you spoke.
It is, and that's been our value stream. And at the same time, David Johansson, they knew that we were working on a project on the state fairgrounds that was in and around the Charlet barn, and which is a special building because of where it came from, where it started, how it was funded. It sets itself apart, and that organization has set itself apart in the beef area over the years. And so that was very appealing to me because, of course, you know, knowing you and knowing Kevin, even when you were dating, which is
been a while.
a few years ago.
Yeah, a few years ago.
But it helped. I was very, very excited to try to help. And then that just started this, it started this most amazing experience to you know, to make, everybody just wants to bring value, make an impact, and that's what it did. Yeah.
So the Charlet barn and revamping that, and that went to even beyond there. One of the next phases has been things people don't see. You know, it's the, I don't know the correct terminology, but it's the dirt work. It's the moving all the things underground that have to be perfect and leveled and all those things. And so Chad, I'm kind of sad you didn't bring any posters today to display.
Yes.
Because for the last like 5+ years, everywhere you go, you drag these posters and you've got these things to display and point out so that we can visually see where your dream is.
Yes. You know, visualization, I think, so people can see a vision.
Yeah.
If somebody hasn't seen the vision, I always say we didn't do a good enough job of explaining it.
Yeah.
So with all of the dynamic media that you are an expert in, I know, yes you are, but static, you know, static forms are coming back. And so that blend of those, what I've found is if you can give people a red pen, give them their own red pen and something to mark on, and then they know that they've been heard, and you're meeting them where they're at with their problem, their idea. I've never discounted an idea that someone gives me. I want to listen and I document it, but then if it doesn't happen, I want to be able to explain to them why.
The why, yeah.
And the why, and of course, on the State Fair Commission, when
Timeline.
you get pelted, when, Jamie?
I don't know.
So I think that for us has been another value stream that we can bring is visualization of things that I'm passionate about. So.
Beef tie-outs. That was one that I was passionate about because it impacted me and my fellow exhibitors out there. Simple things like flooding when it rains and mud. Where are you supposed to go? You know, I'm in a ball cap because it rained all night and this morning. But there's a lot of logistics to the cattle going out to tie-outs at night, and the amounts of trucks and trailers and campers and four-hooved animals. Not an easy feat, and we're not done yet, but people are seeing the changes. What was one of the biggest hurdles to overcome with that project?
Before the beef tie-outs, no one has forgotten this, but for 22 years, we had bedded all of the beef animals on sand.
You're right. Okay, sand was the biggest thing.
So you advocated for this as the the foundation rep back then for Charlet. So the very first thing that I appreciated the past Fair Commission was listening to opportunities to take out the old sand that had what Mark Wolf used to term as like sand mites, right? Because it was in there so long. And so it got rid of the sand. We did a design.
People were discouraged to bring their livestock here because of the sand, and now it's gone. It could have caused lots of situations over the years, but I don't know how many years was the sand in there.
I think it was over 22 years, is what I understood. And so the solution,
played in that sand.
The solution was getting a design and then overcoming the past data about what it cost. So what did we do? We reached out to a Missouri Mulch, right? Missouri Mulch, Lebanon, right? And those folks are in and around here that are their affiliates. Foster Brothers and all these Missouri companies brought us that solution. And the Missouri State Fair Foundation, lots of programming projects, but that one we took clear to bid documents. We found out that the costs were much more reasonable and the byproducts that came from it were something that were really desired. And so now what I feel has happened is we have this wonderful double ground mulch. The cows like it. You can eat a corn dog in there and not get sand on your corn dog, which is a big deal to me.
Yeah.
And so that was the beginning. It was almost like before we try to solve the beef tie-outs, let's try to get the environment and the exhibitor experience back to where it used to be.
Well, and I think that was probably one of the biggest things when I came on the commission that I wanted to question and address was, the exhibitor experience. And, we're all here doing it for those juniors. And that experience is impactful because I remember how it impacted me as a junior and why my kids are doing it this year. Or not this year, but now, finally,
Yes.
that next generation. And you're similar.
Yep. So that exhibitor experience is something that has always been there, but making that tangible, making it really tangible, ties to something that Dr. Carrie Wilson, our current executive director, amazing resource. And I've learned so much from her. The first time exhibitor program, she announced to you all, the commission, that she's pretty sure the count is we had 98 first-time exhibitors on these fairgrounds so far this year. And so if you think about the focus on that youth and agriculture, the folks in youth and agriculture, the Chuck Miller, the teams of these 3, 4, 5, 8, 10 different efforts, and how the foundation under Carrie's leadership has brought them together so we're not operating in silos. That Supreme Heifer Show. Oh my gosh, Greg Walthall.
Year 5.
Year
Ready to start year
5.
five.
The Walthalls, the Jim Spencers, all these folks that are in there doing the stuff that makes that happen. We used to have that all breeds type show years ago, and it's so exciting. And so, oh my gosh, the first year they did that, and we had Kev's walking through the smoke and the announcers and the walk-up music.
You're going to be excited what we're planning for.
I can't wait to see it.
I know.
I'm not kidding. I love that.
It's good. There's going to be a fun little surprise.
I love watching that.
Yeah.
Because
those are goosebump moments.
Yes.
Because
what a term. Great term. I get like 3 of those a day.
Yeah.
Every day around here.
Yeah, and it's not because, it's cold. It gets you right here. Because it's not cold at the fair.
Yes.
Ever. So all these, we'll call them small projects, have led to an opportunity, and that is the building we're sitting in. Go back a couple years when we had the opportunity, the State Fair had the opportunity to team up with a foundation and purchase some land that is next door. When you think of the Iowa State Fair, you think it's huge, it's big, it's one of the biggest in the country, but they're in Des Moines, they're landlocked. We are so proud to say that Sedalia, Missouri is home to the Missouri State Fair. And most people would think that, we're kind of landlocked, but we are not. And we were able to expand, increasing, how many acres was it?
We expanded to 600 acres.
600 acres, yes. And so that was a few years ago. That led to us starting to dream about how we would utilize that land and how we would grow the fair. And you were part of that dream. If anybody knows you, knows that you can talk a mile a minute. I mean, you're just, and your brain works faster than anybody else's. And I'm like, no, I'm in charge of this interview, Chad. You can't just go talking because then like, why am I here? But I know your brain, you want to tell me so many things. What was your first thought and idea once we got the land purchase and we were ready to go to town with the future?
We're just getting started.
Yeah.
We're just getting started. 1901, right? We had the first fair here, the first full fair. And so somebody might think...
You weren't there, right?
Right, right.
Making sure.
Some people might say we were maturing, okay? And because of all the efforts of the commission and our Department of Ag director, passionate, amazing lady, Christian, my first thought was, oh my gosh, we're a baby again. Where are we gonna grow? What are we going to do with all this? And
it was energizing to everybody to be able to think, I like to say that complacency creates complacency. And not saying that the State Fair was in a complacent mode, but you kind of like, you peter out, and the energy is hard, all these hurdles, and then the breath of life has just been dropped into all of us. All the full-time employees, the members, the exhibitors, the fair goers, because they can just see the future blossoming.
Economic impact, new job creation, new revenue generation for.
Pettis County is gonna be on the map.
Oh, Jessica Craig at Pettis County and Sedalia Economic Development Corporation. These people got it going on. And whenever I sit back, and her vision 10, 12, at the beginning of her tenure there has just been amazing. So I just am excited because of the Missouri State Fair Foundation, not just providing assistance for the 4-H building, not just providing assistance for, the smaller projects. No, the 4-H Foundation has done and it's done. It's amazing.
It is.
It's restored, and not just restored, but now
Thriving.
They're just getting started. And so in my mind, the concept and the approval, and again, through the leadership of Director Chin, to back us up to the commission, and then the commission, which you were there and voted yes on doing a full campus master plan that doesn't just include our 600 acres, but our bestest ever partner, Dr. Bates and the State Fair Community College, which is just, it's just amazing that they're together, and now we get to connect with them in many ways.
So we are standing in you mentioned 4-H. We had 3 ribbon cuttings on day 1. It's a busy day 1 of the State Fair last week. We got a new firehouse. And we are the only state fair in the country that we know of that runs a full-fledged operating fire station during the fair, pulling those resources because Pettis County the city of Sedalia cannot manage the need here, and they come in, they volunteer their time. They needed space. They're feeding 3 meals a day to our EMTs and our firefighters and our troopers that are on the streets. But then the 4-H building that we got to update. How old was that building? Is that building?
I should know that. Our firm was lucky enough. I feel like we offered to fulfill the need on that one by doing the forensic investigation. My partner David Weber is an expert in that, and so I should know that. Yeah.
Well, going back to 1901. The swine barn, it had its 100th year anniversary a few years ago. The Coliseum is over 100 years old, and so it's got to be pushing 100. All those original brick buildings. But to restore that, because if we're not restoring, then they deteriorate, and we don't have them for posterity's sake and generations to come. What's next?
Lots of things going on. So the best thing ever in my mind that's happened is between an effort of Governor Kehoe, President Choi, Director Chad Higgins of Extension, and Jason Moore,
Director of the Fair,
Director Chin, all on a phone call not very long ago. And so the State Fair Foundation, and Carrie's led this amazing leadership, that we need a master plan. The last one that was done was in '98 with the original commission.
And I got a copy of that a few years ago, and I was like, 1998, okay. We can do better.
Lots has changed. A lot has changed.
And there was a lot of passion and drive and leadership in those years.
Yes.
And a lot of those plans have been completed, but it's 2006.
That's the year
26.
The year that the foundation was created.
Was 98?
Was in 98, 99. And so we're coming up to our 30th year. And I've talked to 2 of those folks. They were raising money, selling stuffed animals donated by the Carnival organization at the very first dinner they had. And they had it at the Beef House. So next steps, Missouri State Fair Foundation led statewide survey. Director Chad Higgins aligned us with some folks that we're all familiar with from Lafayette County. Lafayette County for many, many, many years, maybe they'll skip a year, has had more entries in the Missouri State Fair than any other county in the state.
Wow.
So as I was working for the Lafayette County District, the new extension district that they have there, doing their own 30-acre fairgrounds and event center, I was introduced to a whole team of the state leadership of Lauren Farmeyer, Stacy Steffens, Chelsea Corkin, and then our local agent of Katie Nooner.
You're so good with names.
The ladies from Lafayette, and then I changed it to the leaders from Lafayette. They somehow, they were afforded a pathway by Director Higgins, and no academia. This is getting this survey out to the state. So it's a statewide survey, 114 counties, and it's a survey that asks about what people think we're doing right, what people think we can improve upon, and what people think we need to do in the future for the Missouri State Fairgrounds.
This morning, Lauren said over 900 entries or surveys have been taken. Her goal was 500 on the first day of the fair, and almost got that. And now we're on day, I don't know, of the fair, and not over 900. So I know we will have over 1,000 surveys taken by the end of the fair, but how long can we take the survey? Can listeners after this chime in?
Yes, for sure. Very detailed. I'm not an expert in surveys, so I'm trying to learn.
I've taken it.
Our extension is deep, and we have national leaders just in this area. So they have developed a survey that's quick, it's easy. I took it, so you know it's easy. And so this is going to go up through mid-September.
Okay.
But Chelsea Corkin, she gets the diagnostic data every day. They're formulating all of the things that you know about and I don't. And the last I looked, we had 80 counties already responding, and I didn't even know the 900 mark was already broken.
Breaking news, I just heard it this morning.
That's amazing.
But I think that what's important to know about that survey is it's for everybody. It's not for those who spend 11 days here at the fair. It's not for those that are just exhibitors. It's for those who have never come. What is going to get you to the fair? Do you even know about what happens here at the Missouri State Fair? So a lot of it is awareness so that we know how to communicate and plan the future.
It is. I think whenever you get on that survey, it's have you been to the Missouri State Fair? And then it asks you questions about even though you haven't been here, what are your priorities with this asset that you own as a Missouri State taxpayer? And so I think it's a great survey for our first step in assessing priorities. This will come before you and the commission first, and we'll make a recommendation from the foundation results perspective, and then we'll work through those priorities. A lot of people questioned it, but we want to have all of this initial documentation done by and the process done and ready for Director Chin's staff's review by January 1st. Very aggressive.
That's exciting. But everything you do is aggressive in a good way. I think aggressive sounds negative, but I mean that's your all's mantra is let's get it done.
Yes. You know, someone that we both know says, you need to move at the speed of business. Okay. Governor Kehoe in this Missouri State Fair, it's just he's everywhere. And
I think we were told he was going to be here 6 days, and I feel like he's been here every day. Seeing the fair, walking the streets, meeting the exhibitors, meeting the fairgoers. We've been so lucky to have our last two governors truly not just support the fair, but support Missouri agriculture, support agriculture education, because I think many people forget that the core foundation of a state fair was centered around agriculture. And many state fairs across the country have livestock shows and stuff like that, but few are like Missouri, where we can pride ourselves on that we have the support of our legislator, we have the support of our Senate, we have the support of our governors and all this leadership to make sure that agriculture is still the center of the fair. I didn't even ask a question. We're just gonna
in an event that we were both at.
Yeah.
I was brought up to say that the Missouri State Fair is the front porch of Missouri agriculture. Okay, it's where we kick off every year. It's right before school. It's right before our FFA kids are heading into the new round of projects. It's all of our commodity groups, which we have more than anyone. World-class facility is a term that we hear from administration So I think the goals of the fairgrounds survey, including the State Fair Community Campus, okay, college campus, in the master plan, our goals are what can we do to continue, whether it's something that we can all see like, oh my gosh, what a facility, or
and
if
that's the thing is we see this, we can feel it. I can feel the cool air and the fans and the smell. Tonight's jousting, the horses are out back, but this is.
Did you just say jousting?
Yeah, we're jousting in here tonight. You didn't know this?
I'm just teasing.
Oh, okay. There's so much that goes beyond behind the scenes at the fair that you don't know, you don't see.
You've mentioned the things that everyone can see. One of the things that is going to happen that I believe is the largest catalyst to kick off and accelerate the master plan of what we're going to, as we head west, we're heading west. It's the new frontier for our 200 acres to the west.
I love that term.
And so is the relocation. It's a huge local, county, regional, and state economic development project, is the relocation and expansion of the Clarendon Road project. Huge accomplishment by your commission in mitigating and getting to that, and a huge shout out to the state legislature for seeing the state benefits of that.
And supporting the dream, because I think that, when you don't realize, but this is the road that runs through our fair. And every road on the fairgrounds is a real road, But during the fair, we do need to have some boundaries. This is the public road during the fair. And it is going to be bigger and better, but it's also by the moving of it, we will be able to utilize that space in a safer, more efficient for our future. Because right now we know that the fair takes over town.
It does.
And we're sorry, but we love it here, and that's why we take over. But I think the future and the excitement for that relocation on both sides, the fairgoers, the 11 plus dayers like this, but the locals.
The new campground, it's under construction,
Over 600 sites coming.
Yes, so this is going to allow campers to get to it much easier than the way we get to our campground now. The things that you don't see, the big water mains, Evergy coming right on board, and the upgraded power that they're working on, new fiber optic, broadband, all the things that nobody sees but everybody wants, right? I want better Wi-Fi.
My cell phone.
I want
to be able to make a phone call.
All those things are part of the Clarendon Road project, and through a lot of great master planning efforts of the Pettis County Commission, Matthew Wirt, the city manager, the mayor, who was there at the announcement, the city of Sedalia, it's continuing their master plan. So they had the vision for that Winchester Road roundabout. Them and the Department of Transportation work together. All that is so exciting for me to see, and how it's going to serve parking and get us there quicker, less walking, more air conditioning
Just
is what we're after.
Yeah, more conditioning. So there's so many exciting things to be looking towards, but there's a lot of things happening, right now at the fair, and we're smack dab in the middle of it. We've got to experience ostrich races and camel races here. We've brought back the rodeo, and the bull riding is coming the final weekend, and of course the big things at the grandstand. But if you could give every Missouri family one reason to come to the Missouri State Fair in 2027, what would it be?
Wow. You're really limiting me.
Well, because if I say give two, then we'll be here in 30 minutes.
I think I'm going to go back to the front porch of agriculture. If you want to see the beginning of your food chain in Missouri, come to the Missouri State Fair. And the carnival food is amazing. And the beef house is amazing, and the pork place is amazing.
You got to cover all your
poultry. I love it all.
The leg.
Yeah.
I love me a
So that's not one
turkey
reason,
leg.
Jamie, but really come and show your family agriculture. because it's not just about food. It's about everything that we touch in our lives. So come to the Missouri State Fair and see agriculture at work.
Chad, thank you for letting me take you beyond the gate as we sit here in the brand new Parson Arena here at the 2026 State Fair.
Love
We've got
it.
more to come.
Love it.
Thanks for joining me for another episode of Beyond the Gate. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe. A new episode drops every other Wednesday. For more information about Beyond the Gate and Around the Ozarks, learn more about us on all of our social media and aroundtheozarks.com. Join us next time for more stories of grit, growth, and the spirit of rural life.